This is the I Design Websites podcast hosted by me, Kevin Wright, owner, founder of Uncommon Inc., creative director, and all that good stuff. And today I want to spend a brief few moments on influencers and some people you probably have not looked to research on from the aspect of being an influencer. So right now we've got a lot of stuff going on, specifically in the United States, with influencers being Democratic candidates trying to get that slot to run for president, win you over to support them, to get them to the to fully represent the Democratic Party. And I'm like, you could research, a bunch of these famous people that do a lot of different things, right? But I'm like, these people are they're influencers, and they have to be very, very, very persuading to influence you to buy into their message and their visions and stuff like that, to get that vote, right? Well, even before they get the vote, just to get people to sign off on them to say like, hey, I'm going to be the person running against what seems to be Donald Trump. So, so moving forward from that, what I'm doing is I'm a web designer, so I'm not talking about social media, singling out social media, but I do want to state that everybody who I'm going over with does have a WordPress website built. And what I wanted to do is show how their websites are tying into their social media and ultimately their influence. And I've got some detailed notes. But I'm not going to try to make this video or podcast too long, meaning that this video is available on my YouTube channel. You can see the video as well on kevinwright.cc. And along with that, you can listen to this podcast on a lot of various different platforms. Notably, as of right now, I just point everybody to my website, kevinwright.cc, and you'll see the latest post with this information on there. So Joe Biden, WordPress website, and I just love political websites where people are running for office because they just love using typography in the design. But taking a look at Joe Biden's Instagram page, I mean, I don't want to say it's the best, it's not the worst. I'm not even trying to say that I'm even a social media review expert, but I can say that he does link to his website homepage, dedicated homepage, and it links directly to that. I bring that up because a lot of people that I speak with in certain sectors, they're always saying like, I'm an influencer, I run my business on Instagram. Well, Joseph Biden Jr., I didn't even know that. And when Joseph Biden Jr., I didn't even know that he, what am I trying to say? Losing my train of thought here. I so apologize. So the idea is just that he's not running his business. There we go. Pick it back up. He's not running his business through Instagram. However, if I was to look at him as an influencer, I'm like, I come to his Instagram page. He does link to his website. He does have his logo. He does have a bio, and he's got two separate sets of stories. I mean, it's Joe Biden. And then I did research the company that designed his website, so I don't think they do any real social media stuff. But nevertheless, talks about climate change education. He's got some good photos of him out in the community. Or on the campaign trail, if that's the proper term I should use. So this is Joe, and he is verified. Got the little blue check mark for, I guess he's important enough to get the blue check mark. Nevertheless, that's what we see here now. Links directly to the homepage of his website. The website is built with WordPress. However, he is linking to other platforms for certain things, meaning that his WordPress website is simply a hub. It does store specific information on the site. However, he does use it as a hub to link to various other platforms. Another thing to note with him having a website is if you just simply search Joe Biden, what you'll notice in the Google search results is that he's running a Google ad against his name, right? And it's go.joebiden.com. When you visit that specific page, it literally is a landing page just to gather your email, your zip code, and your phone number. And there's a button that says add my name. Now, I'm not going to sign up for it, but I do believe it's going to like redirect you to another page and all that kind of stuff. So this is technically a separate website from joebiden.com. However, he is running a landing page and an ad against the term Joe Biden to basically capture emails, zip codes, and phone numbers. And from what I understand, this also is a WordPress website just built with the subdomain name. From here, I don't know if we're going to be able to get it to show up. Yeah, because I've already came to it. But he does have a big pop-up that kind of re-emphasizes. I believe when you drag your mouse outside of the WordPress website, you'll get this pop-up that basically asks for your email, zip code, and phone number, which is pretty awesome. And I'm going to hit on all of the reasons why this is important, right? He does link to all of his social media accounts, once again, being the hub, right? So if you're on Instagram, you only get this one link, right? So by linking to his website, he's able to link to his Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram and YouTube. And all of those links are in the header and the footer of his website. So you can stay connected with him on any platform. From there, he does have a Spanish translation of his website. Link in the navigation. And I know with WordPress, there is a plugin that really makes that easy to do. Once again, pubbing out WordPress to the death of it. And one of the biggest notable things that I do want to show that's not necessarily influencer based, but I think it does win him some cool points with me, is that he has a 404 page where basically, once again, I mentioned this in the previous post where podcast and blog posts, 404 pages are basically pages that like I typed in ho, 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 right? Let me go ahead and make that official. So it's Christmas time. And that is obviously not a page on his website, but he does have a message. Looks like that page isn't here. Keep cool. I'll get us back on the rails, right? And from there, you got a picture of Joe Biden eating. It looks like he has a spoon in his hand, but a snow cone with some shades on. Real cool, Joe Biden. So a few things that I want to note on is that to tie him in with the whole aspect of being an influencer, he's trying to be able to influence you and promote himself via social media, obviously via Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Obviously, he does a lot of stuff on TV. He's out in the community, photographers and photos. He sells product. He organizes and does events. There's just so much stuff. He needs you to volunteer, right? So that's very, very hard to do just from one social media platform, right? However, by having a hub, a dedicated hub, he's able to let you know. He has a very strong statement. Our best days still lie ahead, right? And that's what's on the front end of his website. His branding is very, very bold on the site. Biden for president. You can see the donate link in the upper right hand corner of his website, and he's able to just give you so much more information about him if you decided to learn more about him. Just imagine only having an Instagram page that just showed photos. He's not able to do any and everything that you're able to do on his website. Be heavily shown where to click to do your donations. If you want to see the Spanish translation of the website, to even know that he's got a YouTube, Facebook, and a Twitter, right? And this is me referencing if we just looked at Instagram. So when I look at Joe Biden, and if I was just to look at an influencer that's, a foodie, any kind of blogger in any kind of niche on any social media platform trying to promote this influence, to become this fashion influencer, makeup artist influencer. The idea is just that I believe that in any niche, you can take the principle simply of this, including the landing page. So if you were to run if you're business X and you're a makeup artist, I would say having a landing page, and it's not foreign, having a landing page that simply asks for an email and a name, forget the phone number and zip code, right? The idea is just that you're able to now stay consistent no matter what platform they're on. Everybody has an email, right? So by capturing those emails and contact information, you're able to stay in contact with everybody across all platforms because you have an email address. So this is Joe Biden, and this is my take on him and being or looking to be the influencer that's going to, ultimately win over the Democratic Party so that he can go against Trump. Let's go ahead and jump into the next one. So now we got Bernie Sanders. Love his homepage. And what you'll notice across a lot of these sites that we're looking at, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders is the first one where they've got this white border, a very slight white border around their whole website. Kind of makes it look very, very awesome. But Bernie Sanders' website built with WordPress. He does not link to any social media websites, so therefore I won't be going to his Instagram page to see if he links from his Instagram page to his website, which I did find interesting. But he does have a nice video background on his above the fold where it's just, like a montage of him connecting with the people, talking and that kind of cool stuff. He does do what you'll almost see every website do except the last one, which is ask for email, zip code, and click a button to add your name to an email list, I'm assuming. From there, he does provide external links. So once again, this website is a hub. So from for the donate, almost everybody links to almost the same business or the same platform to take their donations. His shop is built with Shopify, so that store link does redirect to a Shopify store. And then the volunteer link does link to a volunteer platform, meaning that I'm saying that Bernie Sanders' website is a hub for everything. Now, mind you, he does have dedicated content on his website, whereas for the issues that he stands behind, and he does have a Spanish translation of his website as well, which, once again, there's a plugin that makes this very, very easy to have your website translated for you. Let's see. And then the Easter egg that I like to say every time he's always talking, he always says, not the billionaires. And he's got a cool little Easter egg, at least I call it an Easter egg, where it says paid for at the footer of his website. It states paid for by Bernie 2020, not the billionaire. So I can dig that big time with Bernie Sanders. Kamala Harris. I hope I'm saying that name right. She is actually, you'll notice her and Joe Biden are actually doing some of the same things when it comes to some of the external stuff. Like all of them are doing something the same. They all have a website. It's all built with WordPress. Kind of fast forward, like spoiling the rest of this video. They all have websites. They all link to external platforms. However, Kamala Harris is also running a Google ad against her name, basically, I believe asking for names. We'll names or emails, phone numbers, and zip codes. But her website is built with WordPress as well. But everything above the fold, once again, she's asking for an email, zip code, cell phone. When you initially come to the website, okay, cool little animation. It's not going to show it anymore. So when you first come to the website, thing called cookies, and it's remembering that I already came to this website. She does immediately before asking for an email, zip, and a cell phone, she does say, do you want to support us first? That is her first appeal to you coming to her website. And she's got a couple of predefined buttons for a certain amount of dollar, for a predefined dollar amount for you to click on to donate. From there, she does, let me actually show you she does run a ad against her name, Google ad, that is action.kamalaharris.org. So when you click on that, it sends you to a page, add your name, join our campaign. So that's for first name, email address, and zip code. Everybody is asking for this information, right? Like if you are an influencer of any sort, there's no reason to not do, or there's not a case against asking for that information. And I really want to drive that in. Having a website allows you to gather those emails. And even when I think about it, I'm not certain that if you had a Facebook business, if you have a Facebook business page, a Facebook group, I'm not certain that you can easily extract out information about the people that's there, like their emails, phone number, obviously phone numbers and that kind of stuff, right? But the biggest thing is just that your website, you do have the ability to ask for that information, get it added to an email list or any kind of list for that matter, so that you can actually have dedicated content or contact information for the people that are in your influence. You actually know them. You can reach out to them along with those matters, because Kamala Harris she can send me an email whenever she wants if I'm on her list. She can specifically, zip code, think about it. She can specifically send an email to a certain, if she segments her emails, which I would assume she would, she can segment out what part of the country or what zip codes, right, she wants to send an email out to. Very, very major. But then cell phone, obviously, you can send me text message, or let's just say she wanted to give you a phone call for whatever reason. She can do that as well. From there, let's see some of the other notable things. She does link to her social media down here below, Twitter, or in the footer of her website, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Medium, and she has, I'm assuming, a podcast, because she is linking to Spotify as well, which I do have to say, this podcast is also available on Spotify, I Design Websites podcast. So with that being said, what all is she linking to? Because this website is a hub. So, and I have to say, I'm going to get excited for one of these. The events link on her website does link to a events platform where she manages, where she'll be and how people can register and stuff like that. And then along with that, the store that she has links to a BigCommerce website. I'm so excited about BigCommerce. If you've listened to any of my other previous podcasts or watched any of my recent videos on YouTube, the idea, or even looked at my blog for that matter, you can tell that I am very, very excited about the partnership we have with BigCommerce, and Kamala Harris is taking advantage of that. Also, the donate link is also linked to a third-party source, not third-party source, but it's just an external link to a source where you can, website where you can make donations to. And then the Get Involved link also does link to a third-party source. So mind you, she has a full website that almost most of her content is linking outside. However, when you look up Kamala Harris, you're able to find one website, and that one website has all the information you need to know. I know a lot of makeup artists, hair people, foodies, people, like everybody does a lot on these social media platforms. And once again, to reemphasize what I'm trying to go over with the with what my wife just shot me a text. Oh my gosh, she always does this. She finds the best time to text me when I'm doing this. And I'm sorry, I think allergies are now kicking in and I cannot breathe through my nose, but we will get through this. You have this big 100,000, 2 million following on a social media platform. Awesome. Kudos to you. There's one link that you have. That one link, let's just use Linktree as an example. And I highly recommend you, as of this video, if you go to YouTube right now and type in Linktree, one word, two words, however you want to see it, this face pops up and it's saying why you don't need to use Linktree. But nevertheless, I'm going to briefly go over one of those points. So in your bio, right, if you're using a platform that just links to that's just a page that links to many other platforms, my thing is that you typically can't control everything around that page. You might be able to add a logo, change the background, change the colors, but you're very limited on anything else. If you notice with Kamala Harris's website, I mean, she's able to add video backgrounds, kind of make her appeal to make a donation. She really can control the full design of her website and the design of her page. I mean, she can even add an alert feature up here at the top where she can update this to whatever she wants. If something comes out and she wants people to immediately see it, she's got a red bar at the top of her website that will allow her to notify you of whatever she wants you to know on any given day. Where a lot of these other platforms like a Linktree and these other platforms, I think Link in Bio is actually a website that does the same thing. The idea is just that you can only do so much with it. However, Once again, linking to your website, you can have full design control, meaning that you can have full marketing control on what you want people to do on your website. Highly recommend it. And even from that, a lot of influencers, like, they post good content online, but then some people may offer consultations, may need to get inquiries, may actually sell product as well. As of right now, Instagram has not fully made it available, but at some point in time, I know that they're looking to allow you to fully use Instagram to sell your product, but that's not a thing that's happening right now. That's not available right now. So you ultimately do need a website, right, to be able to tag products on your Instagram feed if you're doing any form of selling products and you're doing that through tagging products on Instagram. So the idea is just that there's so much stuff that you'll probably need to link to that even these services such as Linktree and all these other platforms, you still could benefit from having a full-fledged website that does the same exact thing, that almost has the same exact purpose from an influencer standpoint, meaning that I'm an influencer. You know me from Instagram. I've got 2.5 million followers. I don't have that. I'm just using a hypothetical. However, I would love to be able to stay in contact with you in more ways than one. If Instagram goes away today, I would love to have your email address so that you can know where I went, right? To continue to produce the content that I'm looking to do. So nevertheless, this is Kamala Harris. To take a look at her Instagram page, because she does have an Instagram page. Oh, she's the one who uses LinkedIn.bio. I just find that to be amazing, as that was the whole thing that kind of spurred up with, I'm talking about something in a blog post, link in bio. So I don't know how long they've been around, but they have been around long enough to at least allow Kamala Harris to put a link in her bio, put a link in her bio from LinkedIn.bio. She's got 1.9 million followers. She's also has the blue check. And along with that, I mean, obviously she shows some content, video content, photos and stuff like that on Instagram. It has quite a few Instagram stories, but it is notable that Kamala Harris is not linking to her website for this through her Instagram page. Next, I've got Beto for America. So Beto Orourke. I hope I'm saying his name right. And I had to use him. I'm from Texas. He's in Texas. Not to say that I'm backing him for all of what he's doing, but I couldn't leave a Texas boy, somebody repping Texas, off of this website built with WordPress. He has no social media icons on his website, not that I've seen whatsoever. He does have a Spanish translation of his website, and like every other website except the last one, which we'll get to next, he's asking for email, phone number, and zip code to be added to an email list, most likely. From there, his website, once again, a hub. The events tab, volunteer tab, store tab, which Texas he is using, and BigCommerce does have an office in Austin. Let's try saying that 5 times fast. An office in Austin. So he is using BigCommerce for his store. Shout out BigCommerce. Aubrey, my manager over there, partner manager over there. And the donations tab button as well does link to a third-party source. Once again, he doesn't even have a doggone, well, I don't want to say he doesn't have. Actually, let's find out. Let's type in Beto Orourke. Let's see if my man's got a Instagram page. So he does have an Instagram page. He does link to it. This is weird. Beto. So on his Instagram page, I don't know if the O and the R are supposed to be capital, but it reads Beto or Orourke, or maybe they did that so you can pronounce it properly. Homeboy only got 937 followers. I don't care about followers. I'm just saying his competition does have quite a few followers. But Beto or Orourke, I wonder if that's cool. If it is, that's awesome. He just puts El Paso in his bio tagline, so not too compelling there. But he does link to his website from Instagram. No stories, video content, Instagram Instagram TV content. Yeah. So this is Beto or Orourke. That's cool if he did. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of cool. So if you got a hard name to pronounce and you want people to pronunciate it correctly, maybe using some capitals and lowers case letters to kind of emphasize certain areas would be pretty cool. My favorite website. I just love everything. I love the typography. I love the color. But Elizabeth, I forgot to tell you. Let's go ahead. Beto, my bad, brother. Let's see. I forgot to mention one last thing with Beto's site. So for all of these platforms, I'm trying to show. Actually, I need to backtrack on two things. Beto Orourke, he has no problem showing us tax returns. So he does have a dedicated link for that. And he does link from this to get donations or get you to opt in below. So he does have 2 call to actions at the bottom of this webpage. But one notable thing about his site, other than the fact of what I've typically been going over, is he does have a dedicated page for his tax returns. And the page is all black and white. So I truly do like his website. Truly do like his full website. Typography and his black and white. Doesn't get any better than that. I do have to go back to Kamala Harris. I'm sorry, guys. But one thing that on her 404 page, she has the funniest GIF in the background. She doesn't just have a funny image like Joe does eating ice cream. So I just went to a page that is not on her website, just added some OOP at the end of her URL, and it basically says, "Are you lost? Jump back to the homepage, join the campaign, or donate." And to the right of that, there's this GIF where she makes this face like this oopsie face, and it's like, yeah, I just find that to be hilarious. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and get back to Elizabeth Warren. So Elizabeth Warren, once again, using WordPress to power her site. And she's doing something a little bit different here. She's not asking directly for email, phone number, zip code, or anything like that. There's actually no opt-in. But what she does she's got to be using some form of a Geo Locate, because I'm in Texas and it says, "Will you join our fight in Texas?" Right? Some kind of way, not some kind of way. WordPress does, and it's not just WordPress, but WordPress does really support like Geo Locate, and there's plugins and stuff that you can include to get this feature available. But I'm assuming if I was in California, it will say, "Will you join our fight in California?" or any other platform. And I'm almost tempted to know, does the video in the background actually change? She does have a video in the background where I don't know where these areas are, but I would say, based off what I'm looking at, I would not be surprised if some of this information, if some of these clips were not from, that says Boston Fire. Never mind. I retract my statement back for where I was going with that thought. But nevertheless, she does have a nicely designed website. On her website, she does have, I take that back. She has social media links in the bottom of her website. So she links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Flickr, which I'm like, I don't know anybody who still uses Flickr ever since. I do know people that use Flickr, but Flickr's, if you're not familiar with Flickr, it's a platform where you can share like albums of photos. Kind of sounds like Instagram, but it's like different. It's not really a social media site, I guess. It's more or less of like, I would say, a Google Photos type thing. From there, she does link to her Medium page where she blogs at. She does have a Spanish translation of her website, which once again with WordPress, there's a plugin that does help with getting that set up. She does link to external sites. So once again, pretty much like everybody, they do link to a store via Shopify. The events page does link to a third party or an external platform for events. And then the final thing, as far as I want to point out with Elizabeth Warren's site, is that she does have a sense of humor. So if you do recall from SNL, if you follow that or even watch any news platforms during, really for a while, I'm not even gonna lie, since Trump was running for office, SNL did a skit, and basically she was one of the victims of Saturday Night Live, where they would mimic and impersonate these or act out these candidates. And basically she does have a YouTube video where SNL was kind of portraying her with what she was for certain things that were happening at that time for her. So she does have that on her 404 page. From her Instagram feed, she actually has probably, one of the more appealing stories layout. So she has her stories listed out as states that she's at, and then she's got something called Bailey in Our Fight in Puerto Rico, Massachusetts. So she does list out a few states for what she's doing out there in her stories, which I find to be pretty awesome. Pretty cool marketing technique. She does have the star. She's got 1.6 million followers. She does have a very nicely typed out bio, but she links to I don't know what this is. Some platform / economic cash. And I'm sorry, I didn't click on anybody else's link, but it's a Medium blog post. That's what that is. So she links to a Medium blog post in her Instagram page. So she does not link to her, what am I trying to say? She does not link to her website. From there, right? So these are all of the people that I am looking to review as far as tying in the presidential Democratic candidates, whatever we're going to call them. The biggest takeaway that I want to give you from this is that there's platforms that are good at what they do. Instagram is good at what it does. It allows you to get followers, build some form of a following, produce content, whether it be images, videos, stories, links to certain things. And it's awesome in that regards. However, and I'm using Instagram as the main example, but this really can go towards Twitter. Twitter's good at posting short form content, getting likes, getting shares and stuff, building a following. Same thing with YouTube and other things, right? All platforms are good at a specific thing, but that is my point. All of these candidates are specifically linking to other platforms to sell a product. Nobody is selling product directly on their site, right? These platforms, excluding Facebook, because Facebook does have a full-fledged e-commerce system now where you can add products and charge and do all of that kind of cool stuff. But they all are, and then two, I don't know if you can actually shop on Facebook if you don't have a Facebook page. Because I know a lot of people that don't have Facebook pages but do have Instagrams and Twitters and stuff, Snapchats. But nevertheless, the biggest thing that I want to say is that Instagram is good for what Instagram does. Twitter is good at what Twitter does. All of these social platforms are good at what they do. Surrounding the building a following, being able to produce content, and being able to connect with your audience. Now, Shopify, BigCommerce, any other platform for that matter, because keep in mind, all of these websites that we've just looked at could have used WooCommerce, which is it's a free plugin that you can put in your website and start selling product. However, I would be one to say I don't want to have somebody on my staff having to manage everything surrounding WooCommerce. Meaning that I do not mind going to a Shopify, going to a BigCommerce for them to host my catalog of products, to host, making sure the website's up and running and has already a pre-made system that's just proven to work. And y'all do, and those two platforms do it very, very well for the price that they're charging. Right. From there, they're linking to event platforms. They could have easily installed a plugin to do that. However, there's just platforms that out of the box, they are good to go and very, very easy to set up. And you have minimal time. You have a minimal amount of energy that you need to put into it to get it all set up. So I'm saying all of this. And then on top of that, all of these websites are most likely using some form of using some form of a email marketing campaign, text message system to gather all of these emails, phone numbers, and names and zip codes so that they can continue to email you just as much as send you posts on social media. So the idea is just that there's a lot of different platforms that do a lot of good things. My main thing for this full podcast was just simply to go over the benefit. Like if you're going to be an influencer and you want to maximize your reach want to maximize resources, and want to maximize communication to your audience, having a website most definitely will assist in doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it on that note. If you made it to the end of this video on YouTube, leave a like. If you're on a blogging, a podcast platform, I actually don't know what you can do there. If you're listening to this or watching this on my website, kevinwright.cc, I highly recommend you leave me a comment. I want to kind of get active in my comments over there. And nevertheless, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.